So the movie that we just watched collectively, I think, is a lot of George Lucas's pent-up horniness after working on the original Star Wars trilogy for so long.
Bestiality.
There's a lot of things like this. It has every kink basically imaginable on the spectrum of remotely respectable and non-respectable.
You're saying he wanted to screw Chewbacca?
Probably.
I think he wanted Chewbacca to screw Leia.
Red Rocket.
Yum.
Why buy a comic that might cost more than a dime? Come meet the brothers who are here to waste your time.
Oh, that's an opener.
That was pretty good.
Colin sucking dog dick.
Great. Hit us with the intro.
Oh, that's for me in editing.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast.
Hi, Colin. What's up?
Introduce us.
I'm Colin,
Hi, Colin.
your co-host, followed by my fellow other co-horny hosts.
You're co-horned?
Yep, I'm co-horned. Jacob and Spencer.
Sup, bimches? So, to preface, Colin pulled an all-nighter last night, and has had copious amounts of caffeine.
Now let me tell you about how I pulled my all-nighter. So what happened was I was just after work, I am the night shift, and after work I sat down and watched a couple episodes of a show, and then I started doing some chores because I was like, oh, Bo Burnham's Inside made me want to not hate myself anymore. And so I started doing chores, and then I heard the birds outside. I was like, oh no, I'm not going to bed anymore.
I like how you started with the Batman line, I am the night, and then ended it with, I am the night shift. That smooth move, sir.
I am the night shift.
And so I just did chores all around the house, and I mowed my lawn at 4:30.
Nice.
Yeah.
This man cooks and cleans, but isn't single, ladies. I'm sorry.
I am chaotic.
Now, Jacob, you do cook, and I think you clean, and you are single, right? Wow. Okay, he does cook and clean, ladies.
Yes, I'm a simp.
He also knows how to tie a knot, so if you're into that
Whoa!
hey stuff.
It's true, though.
It's true.
Can verify.
Can confirm. Speaking of the horny, exclusive from Deadline.com, Netflix is turning Mark Millar's Jupiter's Legacy series into a universe-spanning anthology franchise.
How is this horny, Colin? That was a horrible transition.
Do you not remember one of the episodes where it's literally their daughter, trying to fuck a guy?
I haven't watched
and then
it yet.
her mom shows up in front of the window?
Yikes. No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, then shut your pie hole.
It came out last week. Give me a break.
How have you watched this whole thing?
Don't worry about it.
Colin's going to talk about it later.
No, I'm not. The streamer has set a live-action adaptation of Super Crooks, which delves into the story of Millarworld's supervillains as the next installment of the Jupiter's Legacy saga. Meanwhile, Jupiter's Legacy will not continue as an ongoing series, with Netflix and Millar going in a different creative direction with the IP and the talent options soon expiring. The streamer has opted to let the high-profile cast, led by Josh Duhamel, Leslie Bibb, and Ben Daniels, out of their commitments to the show. While there are characters in the comics that cross over between Super Crooks and Jupiter's Legacy, the live-action Super Crooks adaptation is in early stages, so it is unclear whether characters from Season 1 of Jupiter's Legacy would migrate to it. Jupiter's Legacy is a vast and rich space with lots of characters to mine, and so I'm happy to share that our next step here is a live-action version of the Super Crooks comic I created with Lionel Francis Yu a few years back, end quote, Millar added. Given where we're going next, we've made the tough call of letting our incredible cast out of their show commitment as we continue to thoughtfully develop all realms of the Jupiter's Legacy saga. We're confident we'll return to it later and just want to say thanks to you guys for your continued support and to the cast and crew who made this look so great, end quote.
So effectively, it didn't make enough money for Netflix to renew it, so they're going to go with a spinoff. Wow.
Yep. Netflix, you suck ass, and give Daredevil to Disney Plus and let's get another season.
The Daredevil rights have already reverted back to Marvel.
Anyways, on with the news.
What about the rest of the Defenders, though?
They're all back with Marvel now.
Yes!
Yes.
DC announces more cast members of the upcoming Sandman adaptation. Kirby Howell Baptiste, she/her as Death, Mason Alexander Park, they/them as Desire, Donna Preston, she/her as Despair, Razane Jamal, she/her as Lyda Hall, Jolie Richardson, she/her as Ethel Cripps, Niam Walsh, she/her as young Ethel Cripps, David Thewlis, yeah, he/him as John D, Kyo Ra, she/her as Rose Walker, Patton Oswalt, he/him as the voice of Matthew the Raven, Stephen Fry, he/him as Gilbert, Jenna Coleman, she/her as Johanna Constantine, Sandra James Young, she/her as Unity Kincaid. So, this cast is getting extremely long and in-depth, and I'm starting to get really excited about this now, actually.
I don't know much about the Sandman. I know I'm supposed to be reading a Constantine book that's within the universe of Sandman. It's on my shelf right now waiting for me to read.
They're all in the universe of Sandman. We are all in the universe of Sandman.
Believe it or not.
When you hear about the Sandman universe, do you hear the song Mr. Sandman? Or do you hear Enter Sandman?
I hear Enter Sandman.
I hear... Wait, say it again. You do it.
Mr. Sandman.
Oh, yeah, it's just Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, that's the one.
That was...
Fapping.
Wow.
That's what I hear every time I hear the clapping or whatever it is.
Okay, then.
But yeah, I hear Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, so the cast is getting absolutely ginormous. I think Netflix is really, really banking on this being one of their, not just next big thing, but like probably one of their biggest things, because they're stacking out the cast so far in advance to when it's probably going to be relevant. One of the things of note that I wanted to lampshade is the fact that the internet is stupid. Because there were a lot of people in the comments freaking out about Jenna Coleman being cast as Johanna Constantine. This isn't John Constantine. It's like his great-great-grandmother, you moron.
I know. I looked into it. So I saw the casting while I was just looking through, I can't remember. I think it was like Instagram or Reddit. Can't remember. But I saw the casting and I saw her as Johanna Constantine. I'm like, I don't think that this is a female Constantine, so I looked up the character, and yeah, it's a descendant who had like this, who did all this whatever stuff and got this house, and I think it's like the house that John Constantine has at like one point.
Yeah,
in the story.
It's his like great grandmother.
Yeah, it's his
end result. End result: the internet is full of dweebs.
Yeah. They don't look up shit.
I cannot wait until this thing comes out, though. They keep announcing the cast, and I don't know if it's actually in production or if they're still in pre-production yet. Because, sometimes we get casting announcements well into production.
Yeah.
Like, they don't name these people as soon as they cast them.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I want it now.
Yeah.
I might have started reading Sandman.
Mr. Sandman.
Also, there was a really good Sandman short film that I don't remember if Neil Gaiman was involved with it, but he was inspired by that to write Coraline. So that was really cool too.
I loved Coraline.
That thing was horrifying. Not just Coraline, but the short movie.
From comicbook.com, Marvel is launching a new Venom series this fall. Following teases last week, Marvel Comics announced today that Al Ewing, Ram V, and Brian Hitch would succeed Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman as stewards of the symbiote antihero.
Symbiote.
It was intentional.
You're intentional.
That's not what my parents say. The new Venom comic book launches in November. Marvel's announcement promises that Ewing will bring the same game-changing style that's made Immortal Hulk a critical and commercial success to this run on Venom alongside his collaborators. Ram V is known for his work on These Savage Shores, Justice League Dark, Catwoman, not the movie, and Blue in Green. Hitch is the iconic artist who helped define the look of the superhero comics in the 21st century through his work on The Authority and The Ultimates. Marvel has announced its new plans for the Hulk. Marvel Comics announced Hulk's next chapter on Wednesday as Al Ewing and Joe Bennett's acclaimed Immortal Hulk run winds down. Venom and Thor writer Donny Cates will launch a new series titled Hulk with Amazing Spider-Man and Invincible artist Ryan Ottley. The series launches in November. With Ewing co-writing the upcoming Venom relaunch, this means that two of Marvel's top writers will essentially be swapping titles this fall. That was a lot of words for the point. The two best writers at Marvel right now, arguably, are swapping titles.
Inarguably.
The announcement came after teases of big news from Marvel last week, referring to this Hulk announcement and the earlier Venom news. According to Marvel's statement, the series begins with Bruce Banner discovering a radical means to control the Hulk. This tease could mean the end of the Hulk, or it could lead to new problems brought on by unforeseen consequences. Marvel just gave me the keys to the strongest one there is, Kate said. Haha, oh boy. You guys are just not ready for this. I believe it. You're about to find out what happens when Ryan Ottley and I get angry, and guess what? Well, pretty sure you're gonna like us a lot when we're angry. Hulk Metal confirmed. Fans will get their first taste of both these new runs with the special Free Comic Book Day 2021 issues.
Hype train has commenced.
Oh, yes. I have been working very hard to catch up on the Venom and Hulk runs.
It's so good.
So I'm excited to read this in a couple of years when I finally catch up. But not really, because then I will be behind still.
Super hype.
Forever behind.
Super,
Yes.
Understandable.
Super mega hype.
Relatable. Me too.
Yes.
Via his Instagram, Andy Muschietti teased our first look at Michael Keaton's Batsuit from The Flash, including a suspiciously familiar blood splatter. The suit just is the...
It's the Batman Return ones.
Yeah, Batman
It's
Return.
it's like a middle ground between the Batman Returns and then the what was it, the original third Batman movie? I can't remember what it was called. I think it was, what was it, Batman Triumphant?
Oh, you mean the original one?
Yeah,
That was
the original
supposed
one
to
that
be
Tim
made?
Burton was working on. There was another suit design that they had started making. It's like a hybrid between those two, and it's got either jelly donut or a Watchmen-esque looking blood
That's
splatter.
what I thought this was Watchmen with the freaking smiley face pen that they took directly from the Walmart bags.
I think it's not going to actually be dealing with Watchmen. I feel like we're all confident that they're probably not going to do that, especially with
Hopefully.
the middling reaction that they got in the comics. I think they're going to do something similar to what they did with the Button story,
Right.
but not with the actual...
But just with Batmans.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
instead of it being, it'll be obviously Flashpoint inspired, but it'll have a bit of a story more similar to the Button, but switching out the Button and the Flashpoint Batman for Michael Keaton's Batman. And I think that's pretty cool. Maybe it'll even tie into the cameo that we got in the Crisis on Infinite Earths TV crossover. Maybe. I don't really care, but maybe. Just saying.
I'm
It looks
excited
sus.
for the Flash movie.
Yeah,
I really just want Batman stuff.
it's turning into a Batman movie, but I'm just really excited. I think they have a really, really good lineup of like people behind the scenes working on this thing. Mm-hmm. And it does suck that Ray Fisher won't be involved at current times, but beyond that, like the cast is looking stellar, and so is the crew.
Yes.
Hours after set photos of Shazam with an exclamation point.
No. There's no exclamation point there.
Okay, well,
There's
I wrote
an apostrophe S.
Hours after set photos of Shazam's new suit from Shazam! Exclamation point. Fury of the Gods leaked online, David F. Sandberg released our first sneak peek at the Shazam sequel and the new suit.
I like this suit a lot. I like seeing the shape, the silhouette of the lightning bolt, rather than seeing this like
The glowing-
symmetrical shape with a lightning bolt inside of that shape.
That's fair.
I mean, no, the last suit was good. Like I liked it a lot,
It's
but I
very
like
Golden
this.
Age.
I like this even better.
I think this looks like the evolution of Billy Batson as a person, because obviously this is not going to be super close in terms of time to the original movie. It's been long enough. So he's probably gonna be like 17.
Yeah.
This feels like what this 17-year-old would imagine. It's a little edgy. It's a little bit more modern. The one complaint I have, and the only complaint I have, is that the emblem doesn't light up anymore. And I understand why. It was a behind-the-scenes problem because they couldn't get the wiring to function correctly without breaking all the time, which is fair. Little lame, but beyond that, I thought the teaser itself was pretty funny. It's just like, why is this so dark in here? I thought that was great.
It is quite dark, though. It's hard to see on a tiny little cell phone screen on a tiny little Twitter bubble.
Wait, what are you guys talking about? I saw the photos of him in like broad daylight.
There were set photos, and then there was what David F. Sandberg actually released officially, which was a little. Just pull it up on YouTube or Twitter or whatever.
He is.
It's just it's a little. It's covered in shadows and shit, which is probably an homage, sort of, to the Black Adam reveal like a couple weeks ago, which was so small I didn't bring it up because it's literally look, it's The Rock in a cloak.
Nice.
Wow.
Good for him.
Even though those movies have no influence on each other, which is really weird and lame, probably some sort of him going, see guys, I do pay attention to the internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the news, and that brings us to the talking point that everybody is here for, ladies and gentlemen. We are three intellectuals talking about the masterpiece that is Howard the Duck from 1986.
The chick who f***ed the duck.
Yes. Imagine trying to write a theme song for Howard the Duck. What rhymes with Howard?
Fuck.
What rhymes with duck?
Howard.
So, as I alluded to in the intro, this is a very horny movie. Like, seriously horny the whole time. The comics, admittedly, are also horny, but...
The main female character, the first time that she sees Howard, she's biting her lip and just, like, wants him.
She's so thirsty.
Played
it's
by
insane.
Leah Thompson, by the way.
And she finds his little condom in his wallet. And she's like, "Oh, Howard."
She
lip bites.
the condom.
Yeah, dude.
Also, he kept it unwrapped. Ew. That's real
Why
gross.
would you keep it unwrapped? Now it's just... I'm not going to have this conversation.
You know what that reminded me of? The finger condoms from Kingsman a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, this movie is not
awful.
The first half isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, the first half kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's really corny and horrible and campy. And then the second half is a student film. No offense to anyone who worked on this thing. And it was worked on by Industrial Light and Magic. I would like to imagine this was 5 unpaid interns who just got to ILM. Because, oh my gosh, this thing is aesthetically the worst thing I've seen.
It's atrocious. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I kept trying to fall asleep. You guys are like, "No, wake up." And then I started going, "Ah!"
It has so many unnecessary explosions, I could swear this is what Michael Bay learned to make movies from.
Probably.
And then you got the lens flare from outer space that J.J. Abrams learned from as a child watching this movie.
Yeah.
Really, this movie is monumental. It raised so many of the big names of movie directors in our generation.
You are absolutely correct. It is a auteur class of filmmaking.
Yes.
That has inspired multiple generations.
Oh, yes, I too love bestiality.
Yes.
Yeah, so this movie hits on, like, unironically hits, like, every kink known to man, and also many of which we do not speak of.
So let us try to go step by step through the plot.
Oh, boy.
And list all these weird kinks as we go. So the movie opens up with Howard coming home from work, we assume.
From duck work.
Yes. And there's nothing interesting on Duck TV. So he opens his Duck Mail and finds Duck Playboy. I'm sure
I believe it's
Play
called
Duck.
Play Duck.
Yes.
It's called Play Duck.
Yes. So there's your first kink. He gets sucked through the building with a boom tube, basically, while he's sitting on his chair, and he gets blasted to Earth. There's actually a topless duck in the bath.
That was very disturbing.
Yeah, nipples and everything.
Yes.
That was weird.
So there's another kink. When he lands on Earth, he just lands in some seedy alley, and this is where he meets his girlfriend.
Very, very Terminator-esque, I might say.
Playing in a grunge band at a seedy bar.
Yep.
After the show, she gets attacked by seedy dudes in the seedy alley. I'm making the seedy joke because he's a duck.
I hate you. Continue.
And Howard fights him off, and that's when
With his quack foo.
Yes.
Quack foo.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And
It
we
was
see
love
the
at
first
sight.
lip bite.
Yes, lip bite. Bestiality confirmed.
Yikes.
Furry confirmed.
Big yikes.
From there, the plot pretty much devolves and is nonsensical.
And I'd rather not speak about it.
Speaking of furries, I have to say, one of the, actually, I wouldn't say super impressive, but one of the pretty solid things in this is the suit work is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I'm assuming it wasn't the actor doing the voice lines in the suit. It was probably either a small person or a child in that suit, most likely a small person. It was probably Warwick Davis for all we know. But like the actual physical acting of the duck was solid.
Yeah, no, I think so.
It was fairly emotive, which was kind of weird.
I read online said that George Lucas spent $2 million in 1986 on the suit alone, which is a lot of money, especially in 1986. So take away inflation and whatever, and that's a large paycheck, especially for such an awful movie. I doubt he made the money back on the suit alone.
But he didn't care because he made Star Wars.
True. George definitely had the money.
No, he didn't. Not after building Skywalker Ranch, he didn't.
We don't need to talk about the ranch.
So anyway,
Moisture.
they try to
Moisture
do the
farm.
do, and then that doesn't work. They get interrupted by the plot that someone figured out should probably be in a movie.
Space laser pulled him, but the Earth-based space laser.
Yes, intergalactic demons.
Try to push him back to where the Duck Earth,
Yeah.
and then pulled back demons
Yeah.
from like Hellboy or whatever, but
there's
not good.
Mad scientist gets possessed by evil intergalactic demon.
So possession kink right there. You know.
We had tentacle porn.
Oh, satanic kink, hentai.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it went real fast.
What else was there? There were a couple others. Anyway.
Mutilation kink.
Yep. BDSM.
Oh, yeah, BDSM.
She does get tied up.
She got tied up at the end.
Very poorly, I may add.
She
Yeah,
escaped.
On
so-
both levels of the fun tying up and the not fun tying up, both were ineffective.
Howard the Duck saves the day, and then
With a freaking
Savior
BFG.
kink.
yep, Savior Kink. At the end, she's at a not seedy bar. She's on a legit stage, and he plays a killer guitar solo during the theme song "Howard the Duck." That
Johnny
actually,
be good.
Wholesome kink right there.
yeah,
not
they
a
do
kink.
it just off stage at the end of the movie, and that's pretty much it.
Colin.
Guitar kink.
Oh my gosh.
Stage kink. Bestiality. Did I say that yet?
Yes.
Furry. Did I say that yet?
Colin, I don't think you understand what kinks are.
I don't know.
But Colin was definitely blue-balled by this movie because, as he said, he was falling asleep for most of it. Every time there's like a leg or some cleavage or whatever,
Shoulder.
Colin would wake up again,
Hand,
and then he'd immediately fall back asleep.
especially when her foot came onto screen.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
So anyway,
So when the movie ended, Colin got up, screamed, opened the door, slammed the door, and then went to the bathroom.
I remember getting up and then I saw that there was more to the movie, and so I jumped back into bed. And I was waiting for more, and nothing happened, and I yelled. I got up. I opened the door, slammed it, opened it again, said, I wanted titties, and closed it. And then I opened it back up, and I said, I wanted ass. And then I closed it, and I opened it back up, and I was like, and I wanted to see piss. And so I peed.
Anyway.
I'm making piss.
I'm making piss.
The point of this movie, the meaning to it that you both have missed, is that the whole time Howard is on Earth, he's finding how humans secretly don't like ducks. They hunt ducks. Their cartoons are about dropping 1-ton weights and wrecking balls onto ducks.
Eat them ducks.
And they eat duck for dinner. They eat eggs for breakfast. The Earth is ducksist, and we need to dismantle the. My gosh, I can't commit to that joke.
So this society is very ducksist, and as you can tell by most of the third act, he does get brutalized by some police officers. He gets chased for doing something he didn't do, and our friendly neighborhood science boy calls the cops fascists. So George Lucas was well ahead of his time with this movie.
Just like how he was about Star Wars and about being the Vietnam, this is about how the world is ducksist.
Very. So, all proceeds from this episode will be going to a duck-based charity, PETA.
No.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes. Ducksist. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Jacob is ducksist.
No,
I don't think he can be on the show anymore.
Okay. All proceeds from this episode will be going to our local duck shelter.
I like that.
My oven!
Oh my gosh.
This movie is a complete and utter piece of shit, and the first half is kind of enjoyable, and then the second half makes me want to bash my head to the wall.
And I don't want to talk about it anymore.
There was a chase scene that took 40 minutes.
It definitely felt like it.
Nothing happened. And it didn't make sense. There was a fight scene in a diner that took 20 minutes that didn't make sense and was useless.
But it ended with explosions.
And lasers.
And rope.
And tits.
No, there weren't tits! I really want to keep talking about this topic because it feels like it's been 5 minutes, but...
I don't want to talk
It's actually been decent. I have something to finish.
Okay.
So, after watching this movie, I think either A, it needs to be retconned into the MCU, or B, we need to follow the new and updated Howard the Duck, who has been seen in Guardians of the Galaxy as well as Avengers Endgame, and has been voiced. We need him to get a Disney Plus exclusive series where he goes through different times and planets and dimensions, fixing things, and all sorts of shenanigans. And I think it can be any medium. Every episode, depending on what location or dimension he's in, can switch art style. We can have a live action, we can have a live action CG blend, or a live action 2D blend. We can have a 2D animated one. We could have like a Hanna-Barbera, like old school 2D. We could do everything.
I strongly agree. And it needs to embrace the cultiness of it. Kind of like that show I hated, DC Squad, freaking Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
It needs to embrace the cult and cheesiness and self-reference that the series is known for.
And kink shaming.
Yes. And be good in that. Like, be cult and be good cult.
This can be Marvel's rival to DC's ongoing Doom Patrol series. I'm calling it now.
This could be Marvel's Vietnam.
I cannot...
This episode is our Vietnam. We never should have gone there.
Vietnam!
We never should have gone there, and it's kicking our ass.
I remember the reaction to Howard the Duck in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I didn't know who Howard the Duck was at the time. But I remember it being positive, like, oh my gosh, they're teasing Howard the Duck. What are they gonna do?
He's gonna use the Infinity Gauntlet, defeat Thanos, while Ant-Man goes up his butthole and expands.
That's the What If series that's coming out soon.
I feel like if Would Ant-Man like actually make him explode, or would Ant-Man get crushed in his asshole?
I don't understand why he has to go up the asshole. Why
Matt Pat has already gone over this and done the science.
I know.
Why
He would get
I'm
crushed by Thanos' purple asshole.
Why does he have to go up the asshole and not be on a piece of food that Thanos eats?
Because it's not fun that way.
I am kink shaming your asshole kink.
I'm kink shaming your kink in shaming.
That's kinky. All right, Bad Batch episode 6, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
So the Bad Batch are training Omega on how to use this weird energy bow thingamabobber. And Sid is like, mission, go get tactical droid. And they're like, do we have a choice? No, you don't. Okay. So they go to the factory on, it is a droid decommissioning plant on Corellia, which is always nice to see. Corellia is great. You know who came from Corellia? Han Solo.
Your mom.
Wow. So they try to get the thing. They clash with the Martinez sisters, who were previously seen at the end, the beginning of, Clone Wars Season 7, who apparently are now working with the Rebellion. Apparently. They team up. Then the Bad Batch give them the information. They give them the tactical droid, essentially. They learn to work together. End of episode, we get teased that they're giving the information to somebody secretive. It's a really basic plot, but I really enjoyed this episode. Like, really nice. Jacob, what'd you think of this episode of The Bad Batch?
I really liked the visuals, and the story was pretty good. It was... I'm gonna relate it to like watching a football game that happens in the rain. Like the football is super duper slippery, and they keep dropping the thing and chasing after it, and it's kind of like a chase scene, but there's 3 different groups fighting each other as they're trying to get the football. So it was pretty frenetic, and I kind of felt like they went. It made the episode feel longer because there was so much action. It was like, are they going to end this episode soon? Like, we're coming up on like a half an hour, and it's not slowing down.
We never slow down.
The only thing that bugged me is that the convenient plot item, I guess, is convenient. Why are they training her on a bow that she's not strong enough to use? They say that. I'm not like being mean. She just has to build up the muscles to use the bow thing.
I don't know, Jacob. I think you just hate children.
Yes, I do. Anyway, obviously train her on it, but don't let her go out in the wild with it because she can't use it yet. Give her a freaking blaster or a pistol or something until she's strong enough to use the bow.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those, it's a kid's show, let the kid do the silly things.
But it's so annoying.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. It's like, guys, this is really impractical. If you're going to bring her on a mission, and now that she's actually part of the team and is functioning as a member of the team, don't do that.
Convenient plot point is convenient.
But, speaking of other convenient plot points, it looks Wrecker went a little crazy for a minute there.
Yes, he bumped his head really hard again.
And then he started saying the meme.
Yes.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Good soldiers follow orders.
He snapped out of it before anybody noticed. But I think maybe that's going to be like the mid-season like low point is him doing something.
There was also a one line of Snipey Boy saying the meme instead of him saying the meme. So I can't quite make the connection of why the meme is Snipey Boy's influence, but it seems like he's going to side with Snipey Boy for a little bit in the future before he realizes he's being a bad boy and then comes back to the Bad Batch.
Maybe. What if all of the members of Bad Batch, except obviously Echo, because Echo already had his chip removed, which he doesn't know.
They're all part of Mephisto's plan. Mephisto confirmed.
Colin, shut up. Colin, you didn't watch this episode, you don't get an opinion.
You didn't watch the last episode either.
Yeah, little bitch.
You.
Bad bitch.
Mephisto confirmed.
What if, over the rest of the season, they all fall. They all go to the side with the Empire, and then Omega somehow does Deus Ex Machina and gets them all back on her team.
Classic Fellowship of the Ring.
Just saying, like, they could do that because, as I said, Echo's the only one who doesn't have a chip. I'm assuming Omega doesn't have one because she was obviously a specifically engineered Gorl. Not sure why. We don't know why yet. So, like, what's up with that? Pretty
Maybe
sus.
she's a clone of Palpatine and not like a regular clone.
No, she's literally a gender-swapped Boba Fett.
But also, look at the hair.
The voice actress is New Zealander, you dum-dum.
Look at the way that she holds her hands and the way that she's diplomatic.
Maybe Colin is right and Spencer has taken the bait.
What if we don't acknowledge Rise of Skywalker ever? End of statement.
I was waiting for more.
I'm trying to find something.
Mephisto confirmed.
Shut up! So I thought that this episode was actually really funny.
Yes.
The jokes, while there weren't a lot of them, made me genuinely, like, actually laugh. Not just little nose exhale, little chuckle. Like, I actually laughed. I was like, is there an Echo in here? And that Echo's like, yeah, me, boy. What do you want? Like, that was absolutely hilarious. I'm a child. I don't care.
They have been up in the ante on the humor anyway. It's gone beyond record dumb.
Yes, it's gotten to the point where they're actual jokes. This was definitely an improved usage of the Martinez sisters. They were probably the weakest point of season 7. A lot of the fan base didn't like them. I remember when Colin and I were watching it when it came out. We were
I didn't really like them at all.
they were a bit annoying.
I still don't really like them.
I haven't seen them yet because I'm not all the way through Clone Wars, so I did not know who they were, and I was a little bit lost.
Yeah, they came in contact with Ahsoka for a little while there.
For like 3 episodes.
Ahsoka confirmed?
That's where I'm going.
Yes!
So at the end, the Martinez sisters are given the droid's information to apparently, as the Bad Batch has now, I guess, really picked a side. They're gonna help the rebellion, kind of. They're giving this information to their informant, and then it's this shadowy hologram, and
With a cloak.
ominous music plays. So
Yep.
it's either, I think there's 3 choices we have. Maybe
Darth
4.
Maul.
We either have Darth Maul or Kira, who's working with Darth Maul.
Or we have Mephisto.
Wait, you're being serious?
Yes.
I was joking. Completely.
I don't think it is, but I think it's it's technically it's canonically a possibility.
I pulled that straight out of my ass.
Speaking of, Kira's actually coming up in the Bounty Hunter crossover, which is pretty cool. I didn't think it was newsworthy, but she's canonically not dead by the time the original trilogy happens. So either we have Darth Maul or Kira, or the ominous music is kind of just a fake out, and it's either Ahsoka, who would be potentially starting to work with the rebellion. We don't know exactly what time frame. We know by the time Rebels happens, obviously she is Fulcrum, but we don't know when that happened exactly. Or I think they could be talking to Bail Organa, who was from the rebellion from the start.
Holy shit. I've got so much animated Star Wars stuff to catch up on.
Yes, you do.
It's so
It's a vast
frustrating.
universe.
It takes the wind out of my sails to look at the mountain of Star Wars stuff that I need to watch, because it's like, I'll never freaking get there.
You can be me. You will get there, because it's all interlinked.
Interlinked. Be like Spencer. Don't sleep.
Yes. Just have it on
Yes.
at all times.
Based in Red Pilled.
Pretty much.
Just have those, like, staple-looking things holding your eyes open.
Yeah.
Go full Clockwork Orange. Just,
Yes.
Yep. Abso-freaking-lutely. Any final thoughts on this episode?
No, I really liked it. Possibly my favorite yet, because it was so fun and funny and interesting. There was a lot of action, and it kept my monkey, cymbal crashing brain happy.
Nice. So, Colin, since you didn't watch some of the required reading, yes.
Yeah.
What?
Of course I wouldn't do that because you'd read it. You don't watch it.
So, Colin, since you didn't watch this episode of The Bad Batch,
That's not necessarily true.
Let's not get into this
you could watch the
conversation.
Watchmen motion comic. Which
No.
is really good.
I'm saying just read the subtitles.
So, Colin, since you didn't watch this episode, you get to start us off with what have you been doing?
So I recently read the first manga of Witch Hat Atelier, and it's actually one of the first single manga issues that I bought, and I never read it. I wanted something that would look happy or whatever, and it's really good. So what it's about is it's about this world of magic, and what happens is your main protagonist is this little girl who stumbled upon a book of magic and a wand, but the wand's a pen. And so she figures out that the pen, that magic is produced by drawing symbols with this pen and using the special ink and using the special pen.
So it's Epic Mickey.
No.
Those games are actually really good.
They were. But you can't make them anymore because it was specific to the Wii.
It was a very Wii game.
So
You better use Wii Channel music for that meme.
Hold on.
Because I have
Grab me that
it's
book.
in the pre-thing.
it's
And
all the way to the right.
my butt's wet.
You should just email me the sound effects.
I will.
All the way to the right.
I definitely.
All the way to the right. Where the mangas are. It's manga. Yes.
What's the title again?
My butt's wet.
Which?
It's Witch Hat Atelier. Meet young Coco, curious and bright and desperate to learn how magic's wrought, but witches keep their secrets hidden tight, and witches, Coco knows, are born, not taught. Then one day, Coco spies upon a witch as he prepares the charms for which she yearns, and sees that, like her skill with thread and stitch, the truth is, magic's something she can learn. Now, with this knowledge, Coco starts to try to teach herself the witch's way with charms, and yet her aspirations go awry. As Coco's magic causes grievous harm, to set things right, Coco leaves her home, and so begins the tale within this tome.
So there are witches everywhere. Are there any warlocks?
That I don't know yet. So,
What do we do with witches?
burn them!
Yes.
I was
So,
gonna say float them.
so it's just like a really fun manga. The art for like manga is really good. I normally enjoy manga art more than anime art because there's usually more detail and there's a lot more thought put into it, and it's very like light tone through a lot of it, but it has its darker tones where it's needed, like when we are introduced to our antagonist, and even our protagonist's teacher has some darker tones. But what I really like is how magic is brought about, where it's not just like, it's not spoken and it's not like weird hand signs, it's paper and pen. You draw out these certain symbols and these like other like a sigil in the middle, and then you have symbols around the sigil, and to complete the spell you draw a circle around it, locking it to the paper. And I just thought it was a really cool way of showing, or just how magic is used, because I personally haven't heard or read that anywhere else.
So it's nerd magic because you have to actually read.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading, and it's really cool because it's a lot of like academic stuff, and I like stuff like that.
The pencil work and shading is amazing. As I'm
Yes.
just looking through it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and there's just so much detail put into the background and how he lays out his panel, like that panel with the tree right there. That's how they get this ink, by allowing this tree to like basically shrivel up, and they take that tree, like those tree branches, and they like boil it up to like ink. Kind of like how they do with regular ink, which is just ashes. And there's even a map on the back, which I think Spencer would enjoy.
I like me some maps.
I love maps.
So what I really appreciated when I read Ghost in the Shell was that they had a couple pages at the end of the book that translate the action sounds, like the boom, bam, pow, sock, wham, that are drawn in Japanese. They're part of the artwork, but they translate that into English in the last couple of pages of the book. Apparently, that was just a deluxe edition thing because that is not included in this tome.
Yeah.
Is that a common thing or uncommon thing?
I think that's a very uncommon thing. It'd have to be a deluxe thing because I haven't read that in any other of my mangas, at least.
Interesting.
You kind of just. I feel like everyone comes up with their own
you can,
sound effects.
You
like
can figure it out.
Us who read in English, but also like, it's like become a meme in the like, as you call it, weeb community.
Yes.
It's like become a meme of those symbols. You just kind of use it on like whatever, and it means whatever to us because we can't read it.
See, if I was to attain weeb status, I would be the type of weeb to learn just enough Japanese to understand
Oh my god.
these signs. So this is why I avert my eyes anytime I see manga now.
Wow.
Because I am too lazy to learn Japanese.
You don't need to learn Japanese. I don't know Japanese.
Yeah, but I would want the fine details. I want to know what the whoosh sound is when I read whoosh in Japanese.
Nani?
Spencer, what have you done this week?
So, I watched Army of the Dead.
Yes!
I know. So surprising.
Zach Denny?
Oh, yeah.
So, obviously, this movie came out on Netflix in 2021, a couple of weeks ago. It was directed, written, produced by Zack Snyder. He also was the cinematographer. It was also written by Shay Hatton and Joby Harold. So I have a written review for this one. It's the most Zack Snyder film to exist, yet is also the most reeled-in Snyder film. It's unapologetic in its unique visual style, over-the-top tone, and odd sense of humor. They are all easily nitpickable choices, so if you don't like Snyder's style, you probably won't like Army of the Dead. But if you are a Snyder fan to some extent or another, it is quite likely that you will enjoy it. Junkie XL puts in a killer score, which does include Easter eggs to his previous works, which I really enjoyed that. The action is good, the spectacle is fun, and the effects work is excellent. The digital work around Tig, who replaced another actor who was originally on set for this movie, who had some allegations put out against him and has disappeared from the public eye. Tig was added in post, so the digital effects work are near flawless. Looking into the process they went through was really, really interesting for me, as I do like digital and visual effects. The area this film suffers in is really clearly the script, with a lot of very rough dialogue and muddy themes. The runtime definitely could have been tightened up in the editing by trimming down some sequences, but I do think an extended runtime is justified by the deeper lore and thought-provoking nudges. But let's not pretend the movie is deep. It's not, but it certainly is complex. I really liked it, but I definitely get what people don't, and there's a hell of a lot to nitpick out of it. But also, zombies and guns and slow-mo and the dream lens. I like it. Leave me alone. I really don't know if Jacob's going to like this, because he's been harassing me for my thoughts on this before he's watched it, and I really don't know. Either you're going to be like, yeah, I really liked it, or you're going to go, eh. It's going to be one of the two.
That's interesting, because more often than not with a Zack Daddy movie, I go, it's fine. I don't hate it like half the internet does, and I don't worship Zack Daddy as a god either. Like, it's a movie, it's good, it's not painful to watch like Howard the Duck, so points.
I hope we never watch that again. I don't want to ever see that
No. Next year. We got to rewatch it so we can redo our review. Speaking
In
of...
high definition.
Jacob, what have you been consuming this week?
I watched season 1 of Westworld
Ooh!
Oh!
from 2016. It stars Evan Rachel Wood. I think that's how you say her name. Yvonne? It's spelled like Evan, so I'm going to roll with it.
No idea.
Jeffrey Wright, Ed Harris, Anthony Hopkins, and Luke Hemsworth.
Ooh. So
Written...
that's the second most handsome Hemsworth. He's the middle child.
Yes.
Nice.
Written by Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan. Based on the 1973 movie starring Yul Brynner and James Brolin, who is Cable's and Thanos' daddy in real life.
You could be my daddy.
Written and directed by Michael Crichton. So I really, really struggled writing my review for this because I didn't know how much to spoil or not.
There are a lot of twists in that show.
If you do a basic Google search, I think you'll find what's included in my review. But if you are concerned about spoilers, maybe don't listen. There is a theme park that rich people can go to and spend a ton of money, a literal butt ton of money to go to.
A metric butt ton?
No. Imperial.
Oh.
Which probably means it's bigger. Anyway,
I hate you both.
American cock!
Rich people go to this theme park to live out their fantasies and do whatever they wish with seemingly no consequences. The story is super interesting. It's more drama than I usually claim to like, but it also has like a really, really solid ratio of excellent sci-fi and like classic Western mixed together, which seems like bonkers to think about, like just describing it to somebody. But when you see it, it makes sense. It's really good. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so that's what kept me hooked for the first couple episodes. Was like, I like the sci-fi stuff, but the whole thing grew on me. It sets the stage quickly, establishes the world, and then tells its story from there. The first episode in particular, you have no idea what's going on, and you're like, what the heck is going on? And it kind of tells you a little bit, but you learn after the second and third episode, like, oh, that's what's going on. There were one or two twists that I predicted maybe halfway, I don't know, pretty early on, but there were a bunch that I didn't see coming. Much like Deceased, when we reviewed that, no one is safe from plot points or dying. So yeah, no one is safe, and that makes it makes the stakes higher. It just makes it more interesting because you don't know who's going to get offed or who's going to turn out to be censored plot point or whatever. Like, it's all trickery and deceit, and it's interesting. There are a lot of subtle details to watch for as you're viewing the show. This isn't a show to, like, check Twitter on your phone as you're watching it. You have to, like, pay attention to the details. It's really, really good. What I'm most impressed by, and I can confidently talk about this, is the attention to detail, one, through the show, but especially in the theme song B-roll video. I don't know. I just want to geek out so bad about it, and I don't know how to. Like,
just go for it.
Heavy spoilers. It's basically 3D printing everything because the people in the park are robots and are like look human and act human until they get shot or dismembered, and then they have like mechanics underneath. But
even the robots.
Yes. The whole theme song is like 3D printing stuff. It's printing humans and horses, and chopped up in all of that, there's a 3D printed human playing a piano, and then like near the end of the song, the human kind of falls away and the piano keeps playing, and that's like talking about the robot being sentient or not, which is the whole point of season 1, is that the robots are becoming sentient and understand the existence of humans outside of their world. But it's a player piano, but like Did the robot know what it was playing, or did it become sentient? Like, so many deep meanings that
Oh, shit, that's deep.
I'm blowing Spencer's mind right now because I don't understand these deep meanings in most shows, but I got it in this show, and I freaking love it.
I'm so proud of you for expanding your horizons.
We're proud of you.
The only complaint I have is that the last couple episodes kind of dragged a little bit. It slowed down from like 50 miles an hour to 35. But
So it's still going over the speed limit in a school zone.
yes,
Speed bumps.
It's still good TV. That's a good analogy. It's still better than a lot of other TV shows. But compared to the rest of the show, it's a little bit slower. But yeah, that's like my only complaint. Solid 9 out of 10.
Jacob wants to f*** a robot.
No, I don't. That. So, Colin,
Yeah.
what is the other thing that you did this week?
So I watched season 1 and 2 of Castlevania on Netflix.
Dang, I saw the first season. I haven't seen the second one yet. Talk to me.
Really? Because like the first 2 seasons are basically like they're the same story. Because season 1's like only 4 episodes. Like it's like 5 episodes in season 1. So the story is about Dracula Tepes finds love at his doorstep when this lady comes to him and wants to learn science and become a doctor for the world. And he teaches her, they get married, and then the church is like, she's a f***ing witch, let's burn her, and they burn her.
Typical, am I right?
Yep. And he finds out too late, and he gives them a year until he comes back to seek revenge and kill all of humanity. So basically, he died when his wife died, and it's just a giant, long suicide mission. And we follow our protagonists, Travis Belmont, who is the last son of a monster hunting legacy family. We have a listener or a speaker. Yes, she's called a speaker. She's Sypha Belnadis. I don't know how to say her name. Sypha Belnadis is a religious follower of the speakers, who are a nomadic group who bring aid and knowledge and seek knowledge through all cultures. And also they find the son of Dracula, Alucard, and they are on a mission to kill Dracula. I'm trying to not give away too much. So basically that sums up the story without trying to give away too much. Dracula's wife dies, wants to kill all of humanity. His son and his couple friends want to go and kill him. Action, animation, top tier. Some of the best action scenes ever.
I do remember that. The animation is beautiful.
It's amazing in season 1 and 2. I'm on 3. It's kind of dropped down a little bit, but that's fine. But season 1 and 2 are so good. It's like the studio that has animated it was actually given enough time and given a good budget to animate all these scenes. They're proportionally exquisite, and they're just fluid, like how anime should be. And this is an American anime, by the way.
Notice how he sniffed after saying that. Weeb.
Yes. It's American anime, surprisingly good, because we've had quite a few American animes that I shall not speak of that weren't too good, but the ones that were good were like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Teen Titans and stuff like that. Those were all pretty much animes, but not because they were animated in America.
Teen Titans!
Stay on topic.
No.
Anyway, animation was awesome. I rate it a 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Actually, I'll go on a scale of 1 to 7 because it makes more sense to me.
What? What?
So we'll
wait.
have this conversation. The reason why I like 1 to 7 better than 1 to 10 is because it gives way too many options in 1 to 10. 1 to 7, every number has like a reasonable.
So that puts you at like 5 7/8, if my math is correct.
I give it a 5 out of 7.
Hang on, I have to find this out.
I hate fractions.
No, because I'm doing this. It's out of a 1 to 7. I give it a 6. Actually, I give it a 6.
It's a 5.6 out of 7 if you stick with the 8 out of 10.
So I give it a 6 out of 7.
So you rounded up because you went out of 7.
Yes.
Spencer, what else did you do this week?
So I read Harley, Quinn, and Poison Ivy, which is a 6-issue miniseries published in 2019, written by Jody Hauser and pencils by Adriana Mello. I believe that's how you say her name. This follows up after Heroes in Crisis, where, spoilers, I guess, Poison Ivy dies and then comes back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, it was pretty solid stuff. So she comes back. She's not feeling totally herself, so Harley's trying to help her get back to normal. She fell apart in a dressing room, which I thought was pretty funny. Like, she's just a pile of leaves. That was really funny. So they clash with the Floronic Man.
Fluoride Man.
No, Floronic.
He's a dentist.
No, he's another tree boy.
Isn't he from a different dimension?
Oh, you're saying Flora.
No, Floronic. Floronic Man is trying to be essentially the primary guardian of the green. So he is clashing. He previously clashes with Swamp Thing all the time. Now he's going against Poison Ivy, who is another, person connected to the green. So he is trying to take her powers / absorb her type deal. Plants and stuff. Lex Luthor drops off a present of sorts to Harley after the events of Heroes in Crisis, but she doesn't give it to Poison Ivy for a little while. So she gives it to her. It's basically fertilizer. So she's like, ooh, yeah, fertilizer.
Get that shit on my skin.
Basically, like she shoves her fingers in it, is like, ah.
That gets her so moist.
It's like fertilizer, but with steroids in it, basically.
That poopy
So,
bussin'.
stuff happens. She feels better. Floronic Man bursts in, and then there are actually a couple of decent spoilers on this, so I can't really go much further. But it turns into a little bit of a road trip with her and Harley. They go to New York City. They temporarily team up with Batwoman, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a nice little couple book. So the art was really good. It was fairly run-of-the-mill, to be honest, but the cover work and the other alternate covers I thought were absolutely stellar. The dialogue was really good. There's maybe 6 characters in this thing that actually speak more than like once. So it's almost entirely Harley and Ivy. The plot is fairly bare bones. It's more of a vehicle to tell the story that the art writer wanted to tell. I like the fact that it was fairly small. It isn't, big, boom, world-ending shit. There aren't a lot of other characters. It's not a lot of crossover. That's nice. But I definitely think it had a lot more potential. By the time I got to the end of it, it felt like it used the total 6-issue runtime, essentially, like page count, fairly well, but it felt like there was more that could have been done with the concept in and of itself and the themes that the thing hit on. I bought it for $16 new. If it's like $10, $12, I'd recommend picking it up. It's a good read. It's fun. It's light. Boobies.
Big booba.
They're not that big, but they're nice booba. Jacob, what else have you been doing?
All right, so before we get rolling, Spencer, I need you to tie Colin down. Ready? Set? Go.
Wait, what?
All right, now that we have Colin bound and gagged, it's the little red ball gag. We found it under his bed.
Ooh.
No idea why it was there, but
Still sticky.
we're moving on. I read Young Hellboy from this year, 2021, issues 1 through 4, written by Mike Mignola.
Oh, yeah.
And Thomas Snigoski, art by Craig Rousseau. So, this is when Hellboy is young, is a kid. We saw it a couple of times in the main books.
Pancakes.
Was that?
Pancakes.
Yeah, basically that age. Hellboy's hanging out with his daddy, Dr. Brutenholm, and they're going on an adventure. They're flying to some place to look at a temple and find the freaking evil power that lives there and kill it or something for science.
Wow.
Their plane crashes and they don't get there. They land in the water and they're on a life raft and they get saved and taken to some fantasy island.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
They are greeted by crazy sights, and that's where most of the story takes place. So it's pretty short. It's 4 issues. It felt like it could have been condensed a little bit and basically been like 2 issues or a really big 1 issue special. It felt like a really big short story.
Like the Hellboy holiday special thingamajigs that they've been putting out.
I don't think I've seen that. So, Colin will like it because there's Mommy Milkers in it.
Mommy Milker!
Anyway, the artwork is definitely different. It's clearly not Mike. It's clearly inspired by Mike. I didn't mind it. It felt close enough to Mike that it was still clearly Hellboy. Colin probably won't appreciate it because it's not Mike, but it's fine.
It's not Mike!
I'm gonna start kicking you if you don't shut up. That's better, good little boy.
He likes it though.
That's not Mike. Fuck you.
So, spoilers for anybody who cares. I thought it was going to be a bad dream because of the way they kept repeating in the first issue that Hellboy should take a nap on the plane so that he's ready to do whatever when they land. And then a lot of crazy things happen. I thought it was all going to be a bad dream on the plane, but it wasn't. But their memory gets wiped at the end anyway, and they don't remember the whole thing. So it kind of left me feeling like it was a pointless read. Even though it did happen in continuity, they don't remember it. So I never liked that plot twist. I always feel cheated by it. I picked up each issue as they came out. It was like $4, I think. So $16 for the total series. I don't know. Maybe find it on sale, but it was fine. So now that we've unbound Colin, do you have any thoughts?
It sounds exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
A waste of a read.
Colin is such a prophet.
I am.
He is the Hellboy prophet.
I like that.
Apologies to any Pentecostals listening.
I am the prophet of the Hellboy.
I am not the Messiah!
He's the Messiah!
Good memes. Good memes. So that is the end of this show right now. So that's...
Yes. So we are taking an offering for the prophet, and our 3 main givers, our largest contributors, largest contributions are from Business Casual, Jeff Lawrence, and Wesley Eaton. Thank you so much. Our prophet is always more attuned when he has a penny in his pocket.
Un Rama me bless.
We're gonna rot in hell for this.
No.
If any other listeners have appreciated what they've listened to, if you've made it this far, please consider going to patreon.com/dimecomicbros. We have several different tiers. They are going to get reworked sometime soon. Hopefully soon. Maybe. We've been talking about it for a while. But there are different tiers with different things that you get for giving us money. Things that we give you to show appreciation for the appreciation that you show us.
Stickers!
Yes. Stickers.
Prints.
All the stickers.
Sketches.
There are more stickers coming.
Soon.
I love stickers.
Play ominous music and editing. Soon.
Coming to your mailbox sometime soon.
Coming to a MILF near you.
That's you, Colin.
I am the mommy milkers.
No, I meant you were coming to the mill. Never mind.
Never
I'm
mind.
coming on the MILF.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of, we are also supported by Jetpack Comics in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire.
Thank
What
you.
a bunch of DILFs. Am I right, boys?
Yes, downtown Rochester, New Hampshire. They have a wicked cool store. The face mask rule has been lifted. You don't have to carry a basket anymore.
Show
you can
them
just
show them your ugly mugs.
walk in from either doorway now. It's open and easily accessible. We're happy to be back, folks.
You can take the store from both ends.
Eiffel Tower that bitch.
Anyway,
That's spit roasting.
we appreciate the support. They hang our poster next to one of the doorways. We love it there. We're there all the time. I actually talked to the owner the other day, Rich, right?
Rich is the manager. Ralph is the owner.
Doggone it. I don't know who the manager is.
Yeah, Rich is the guy who you want to be your dad.
He's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
DILF.
Yeah, definitely. No, he was wicked cool.
He's their DILF
then-
mascot.
I asked him a question. I was like, is this going to work with this?
Oh no, Ralph is
Because
great.
I stared at it for like 20 minutes. He's like, yeah, that'll work. I'm like, cool, thanks. I'll take him. So,
Nice.
super helpful. Thank you, Rich, for helping me out. I'll
guess
be
we're gonna-
back with more questions.
I guess over the next couple of episodes, we're gonna end up shouting out every single crew member because we talked about a bit about Kyle last week. That's how I ended the episode.
I mean, at least talking about the people that helped me out.
Yes.
Or whatever. The people that talk to me.
Go pay our DILF some money.
Yes, please. We cannot support them enough, and we are asking you.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Pay our sugar daddies and be their sugar mommies and sugar daddies. So you can be our grand sugar mommies and sugar daddies.
Whoa.
Mommy milkers.
If you do not feel like showing financial support, we understand. We are a couple of broke dudes. We're still paying off the bills from almost a year ago of buying this shitty little microphone. So
Don't talk shit about my microphone.
don't talk shit about your shitty microphone. Anyway, we get it. We broke too. So the least we can ask for is just a like on the socials. We are on most of them: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
That is the entirety.
Okay
We
then.
do not have a TikTok. Do not ask.
TikTok bad, really good.
Just watch.
No.
I'll make us TikToks.
Prove it.
I don't
Colin.
have the conviction.
Colin, do not take on another task you cannot do.
I literally cannot. I
not.
can't take on anymore.
Do not.
So please go to the socials and drop a like, drop a comment, drop a fat
Deuce!
dumper of a question on us.
or you
Drop
can just
some big mommy milkers on us.
No.
Why not?
I don't want to have to weed through the inbox of us.
Oh
getting
yeah,
kitty
wait.
pics.
Please don't actually send pics. Unless you're a dude, send some your mommy milkers, my guys.
No.
Why not?
But you can send us an email. Just please
Jeff,
don't.
Wesley, I'm talking to you.
Send the dad bods. That's
No.
it.
Wesley, send some pics.
You can send us emails at dimecomicbros@gmail.com, but please do not send nudes.
Yes.
Send memes, comments, complaints.
No, not nudes.
No
I'm
nudes.
telling my guys to show
My
their
boys.
mommy milkers. My
No.
boys.
If they're guys, they're not mommy
daddy
milkers.
milkers.
They're daddy milkers. Anyway, we also have an email at Gmail. It's called timecomicbros@gmail.com.
Wow.
We were super creative that day.
Yes.
We are on YouTube and Spotify and TuneIn, maybe, and Podbean and iTunes. No,
We're
Apple
everywhere.
Podcasts and Google Podcasts, which I found out the other day just automatically downloaded to my phone. It was part of the bloatware, and that kind of pissed me off. Like, not everybody listens to podcasts.
Everyone should listen to podcasts. Everyone should listen to our podcast.
Stop
We're on-
assuming that I'm going to use Google's service to listen to podcasts. Everybody uses Spotify.
End result, you can listen to us anywhere. And if you are listening to this episode sometime soon when it comes out, in 2 weeks we will be having a Q&A for our 1-year anniversary episode. So please, if you have any questions whatsoever, make them spicy. Drop them on any of the social media DMs, send us an email, comment on YouTube, anywhere. Just give us questions, and we will answer every single one of them.
Questions or comments or complaints or jokes or pickup lines, even. We will read.
Yeah. If you send us some good pickup lines, we'll read them on air and then laugh at you because you're pathetic.
Yes. Next week, Colin and I are in charge. Spencer won't be here. We don't have a plan.
We're large and in charge.
We're going to be bullshitting the whole thing. We don't know what we're doing.
15 naked cowboys in the showers.
Tune in next week.
Are you done taking notes, Dad?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast.
We don't have an opening joke recorded.
I know, but I like saying
I
it.
have a lot of jokes.
Because if you guys have opening jokes, you just take it over, and I can never say it, so I gotta just say it, so you can just go. Bloop.
You're not wrong. Bloop. But we're funnier than you are.
That's not
That's debatable.
True. We just have different senses of humor.
Harmer. We have a sense of harmer.
Humor.
Oh my god.
Home on.
Harmer. Hemp?
No. Home on. Oh, I'm having a stroke.
Homo sapien?
No.
Homosexual.
No. Red Rocket.
Stop.
You called her your kid. I wasn't making it sexual.
Szechuan sauce.
Yes.
We need to dismantle this monarchy and this hierarchy of just duck hates. All right, this is a woke movie. It's really just like a PETA commercial.
I cannot.
This episode is our Vietnam. We never should have gone there.
Vietnam!
We never should have gone there, and it's kicking our ass.
Tactical nuke!
And now we're gonna pull out.
Unlike last night.
You know me, boys. I never pull out because I never got in.
There's so many good memes you can add in post to that.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes, let's move on to the bad bitch.
More king. I want to keep it at shh. No, I did that.
Really quick outtake. The scientific name for duck is spelled ANAS.
Anus?
Enough. Nice.
That has to be added. That can't be an outtake.
Fuck people who like Game of Thrones. They're the worst types of fans. They're still bitching about it on Reddit.
Pay a visit to our local Daddy Donkers. Daddy Honkers.